Everyone had a chance to look over last month's minutes. Get a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All disapprove, say no. All right, Matt.
Okay, any public comments?
The park is bustling, it looks really nice, there's lots of people up there, we play pickleball,
Oh.
but the whole park,
Well, thank you.
it's crowded and
It's
it's good to see.
it is. It's taking a lot of work to get back to that, but yeah. Well, moving into just program updates. Starting next week, we'll have flag football games starting, so you'll start seeing even more crowds in the park of the evenings, at least 3 nights a week. If we get behind for whatever reason, weather, we might have to throw in a 4th. But the plan is to play on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. But teams will have had 3 weeks of practice. So, and flag, I swear, it's our smallest athletic program as far as participation goes. I swear it's so much fun. My daughter's played the past couple of years. I helped coach, and it's I don't know, it's a good sport. I can understand why they're pushing it into the Olympics, into high school athletics. It's fun. So our cheer program starts their games next week. One thing we're doing different with it than last year, we had cheer, I don't know, 10 years ago, and it kind of faded out. And that's a very difficult program because you don't have coaches. You don't have a lot of experienced moms or dads to take a squad. And so we learned last year where we had squads ranging from 5-year-old to 12-year-olds assigned to each team. We learned that we're going to try something different because our return ratio of kids returning was very low. Our numbers are still high. We had like 90 girls last year, and we got 80 this year, which is still a huge number, but only about 20 or 25 girls are returning. So that tells me we can do better with how we manage that program, but it also reinforces that the girls are here. They want to do cheer. We can just put a better product out there. So what we're doing is we're kind of making cheer, instead of making cheer like a subset of a flag football program, we're trying to standardize it and make it its own independent program. So all the cheerleaders, we've got different squads with closer age groups. So 5-year-olds aren't cheering with 12-year-olds. They're going to have the same uniforms, the same pom-poms. We've created a cheer packet that we've worked with the Cherokee Chiefs cheer coaches, the city school, got their cheers, and tried to say, here's 12 cheers. Teach these. If you build on those, great. But we've got videos of how they should be performed that we've sent out. So we've kind of made a packet for cheer coaches that are just willing to help. And we're thankful to have them. But and so 2 cheer squads will be assigned the 5:45 game Tuesday night. They don't know which team they're cheering for. They'll show up and they'll pick one on the side. Last year we kind of it got real complicated last year. So what we're trying to do is make it its own program, independent. They're there to cheer on the flag football teams, but it ain't that same specific team every night. So we hope that'll kind of be better received and bring more girls back. Because again, just with that few returning girls, but still that high of a number, that tells me there's a ton of girls out there that want to do this. So moving on, this Saturday we've got our Touch a Truck that was rained out in May rescheduled. As of our last count, we've got about 40 vehicles coming. We'll have vehicles that range from, you know, air, land, and sea. We've got helicopters and boats and all sorts of construction equipment, first responder vehicles. Really look forward to it. I've not checked the weather, but hopefully that'll work out for us better than it did in May. But that's from 10 a.m. to noon. Free, so tell everybody, come out. And we got the Food City shopping cart coming back. So it should be really cool. I'm excited myself. One of our new programs coming up this fall is something I was working with Neil Ewing's been doing our fitness programs, and he brought up the idea of doing like a youth athletic training. It's one of our fitness programs. You know, we've done barbells, we've done aquafit, we've done fitness, but it's all geared towards adults. We're still going to have adult fitness too. But once we was talking, was kind of brainstorming this idea. What I wanted to see, you know, your upper level, your school ball, your elite youth athletes are already, you know, above the others. They're already getting the good training. What we wanted to provide was something for like a rec level athlete, just to get stronger, faster, more coordinated, and not focus on those that does not necessarily have that opportunity other places to still benefit from a personal trainer that's certified, that can kind of teach things like that, just how to control your body, how to run faster, jump farther, whatever. So this program is going to be geared to kids in our programs that's using our athletic programs, not just flag football, but basketball, baseball, and it's not necessarily restricted to those athletes, but it's going to be geared toward those athletes. It's 7 years old to 12-year-olds, which is the bulk of our range of athletes in our programs. It's going to be on Saturday mornings, very low cost. We want to encourage, you know, anybody that's participating, even if they're not, you know, obviously our flag football kids are involved right now, but we want our basketball kids coming up, or our baseball kids next season to, hey, they benefit from that. The parents be like, hey, let's send them to the park on a Saturday morning for an hour, and, you know, let Neil work with them on speed and endurance. So that's what that youth athletic training program, we should have a flyer to send out hopefully by the end of the week, because it's going to start next weekend, next Saturday, September 21st. We're going to try to leave it kind of open-ended to begin with, just to see how it goes, because I feel like if it is a hit, you know, that's something we could continue through the winter time. Once we get access to these gyms, we can move it into a, you know, city school gym and still have some kind of youth fitness going. So I'm excited about that. It may flop, but we'll see. I don't think it will. October 26th, we'll have a movie in the park. I've brought this up before, but that's kind of our October event. We've not finalized the movie, but it'll be Halloween themed. We'll have some kind of fun games, and I'm sure we'll do little costume contests and give out candy and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully, again, the weather will cooperate and give us a nice, cool fall evening, but not cold. And business, or no, I'm sorry, grant updates. I did get our Blue Cross Blue Shield Healthy Place grant submitted week before last, I guess. And that's for the improvements at Swift Park. Now I did hear from a reliable source that a couple of days before the grant closed, that there was right about 100 applications open that had been started, and over 70 to 80 had already been submitted. So this is a very competitive grant. I mean, I think we've got a good application, but even a good application is not guaranteed, something like that. So cross your
How many
fingers.
grants will be given? I mean.
I don't know. I think they just kind of, I don't know.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
What was the money value on this one?
The total cost estimate that I submitted for, I think, and it is a very rough estimate. I mean, I don't even, please don't quote me on any kind of cost estimates, but it was around 1.3. But again, that's without getting true quotes on, because we don't know what kind of, because if you're awarded this grant, from my understanding, Blue Cross Blue Shield kind of comes in and decides what playground equipment's going to go in there, and they'll work with us, but they design it. So yeah, I don't know. I just had to throw a ballpark figure on playground equipment. The pavilion and restrooms, depending on what size they're willing to build, will dictate the cost. So again, I just had to put some ideas of numbers in there, but that's the number I went with was 1.3. I look to hear hopefully around December or January. It's kind of when they target announcing. So cross your fingers. LPRF, the engineers and architects are still finalizing their construction documents. We'll be meeting with them and the First Tennessee Development District sometime in the next couple of weeks to discuss how we want to bid some of these projects out. I think I've mentioned before that there's a lot of crossover between the LPRF projects and the CDBG projects, and there's pros and cons of bidding them all out in one big go and letting one general contractor handle it all, or piecing it out. So I will have to defer on some professional experience on those. But we'll be meeting to talk about that here in the next week or two.
What kind of a time frame will we have as far as getting it done, this work?
Well, that would depend, really on how we elect to bid it out. I don't know, because I don't see much construction taking place before March.
Okay.
Now my goal will be to have everything ready to roll, to start construction as much as possible, get as much done. But even like the concession stand, that probably won't even get started till July of next year, because you don't want to start right in March and then you're right in the middle of baseball season with those where that concession stand sits is right in the middle of all three fields that we use the most. Then with the CDBG grant that does the paving and the sidewalk of that road, March through June is the busiest time of the year. And that to me, you don't want to pave that and then still be bringing construction equipment in on top of that new road that we just built. Certain things like the pickleball court, redoing that, is kind of off by itself, so that might be able to be done independently. It's kind of away from everything, doesn't impact much else except pickleball players. And that's gonna have to happen, you know. No way around that. But yeah, and with the CDBGs and with the pickleball project, I think I mentioned there was that power box. I met with Holston Electric 2 weeks ago. They're working up a plan to figure out, you know, what kind of cost is going to be associated with moving that power box so we can expand that area to fit 3 more courts comfortably in that one side. They've not gotten back to me yet, but I expect to hear from them this week about, you know, where they would, because they'll move that, but then we'll have to contract out. You know, they handle the power coming into that box. We got to deal with the power coming out and off to the different facilities and the lights and everything. So they're working up a plan for that. And while I had them there, another important thing that needs to happen, they're working on a couple of options to add some lights in the pool parking lot. We've been up there after dark, you know, at movie nights, moonlight swims. That parking lot is pitch black. They're supposed to be working up a couple of options on adding some street lights or some kind of security lights, costs, but that's something else I'm kind of working on. Moving into new business, field improvements. That's just sometime, when did we do this? Back in February, I guess. I bought a load of some good infield mix for field 2. This fall, winter probably, I'm gonna buy a couple more to do fields 1 and 3. That way all 3 of our main fields are in good shape, looking good, playing good, be ready for spring ball come March. That infield mix on that one field, the reason we chose that field first is all the rocks under it. I wanted to lay as much material down on top of it, and it helped tremendously. They're still rocks, but they're not as obvious. They don't come up to the surface near as much. Over the next 2 or 3 years, I'd like to keep doing that. We did field 2 this year. We'll do 1 and 3 next year, and try to get maybe field 5 is our biggest field. That's going to probably take 1 or 2 loads by itself, so we'll probably do that one in 25 or 26. The tree program on here is something I've been thinking about for a couple of years now. Is, you know, one, utilizing our greenhouse again, wanting to replenish some of the trees. Well, we've got tree issues throughout the park. They're old, got a lot dying. Just kind of want to wait until they're all dead to start thinking about replenishing them. So I was talking to Matt Smith. He's on the tree board now, so I was, you know, how do we start a tree program? And I know the Tennessee Forestry does their seedling sale. It's open this month. So I thought I'd buy a few hundred seedlings and just get them started in our greenhouse. Let them grow for a year or 2 and get plantable, and then let him, you know, use them also throughout the town. But I said I don't want to wait, because I got trees dropping every month, seems like. I think that'd be a good kind of environmental project to start working on.
It would, and I think if you're growing from seed, I mean, you know, that's
Getting them very cheap. I mean,
yeah. 'Cause I mean, a good sized tree is gonna cost you we're in love.
Yeah. And the seedlings sell, I bet there's 40 or 50 different options to choose from.
Yeah.
And they're different every year.
Yeah, I might reach out to the Ag Extension office too, and see, you know, they run a lot of programs.
Well, and that's where I figured Matt and, you know, other members of the tree board, just other
Right.
people in town could, that's a good resource I hadn't thought about. But can
Yeah.
find other resources for trees and
Right.
shrubs and bushes. So I do wanna start, you know, if we're gonna have that greenhouse, let's use it.
Yeah, utilize it.
And last is the website updates. I know Glenn's been working on getting a new town website up and running. I've been putting together the Parks and Rec information. I want to update it. If you, I don't know, came on after this was done, but the pictures on our current Parks and Rec page aren't even of our park. So I've been kind of going through all the pictures we've taken over the last few years. So I'm sending him updated information, updated pictures, so, look for a new website coming in the next, I don't know when it's coming, but in the next few weeks, I hope. But it's just some of the things I've been kind of working on outside of these other projects.